After you've had a chance to look at the music of May's song, it's time to go through this practice video and practice the skills that you need in order to play this piece. So after you review how to set up holding the violin, how to set up your left hand and your bow hold, and after you warm up with a scale, you're going to start practicing these skills. First, the A major arpeggio, and then the rhythm that's at the beginning of the piece, which includes a dotted quarter note. So get ready to review all of the setup and enjoy this practice module.
Make sure you're holding your violin properly. Find the end button, put it up against your neck and over your shoulder, and then hug your violin with your shoulder and your chin. Stand up nice and tall. Set up your left hand properly. Hold the neck of the violin between the knuckle above the base of your first finger and the pad of your thumb. Tap, tap, tap the pad of your thumb and hover your fingers over the strings and over their tapes. Your wrist should have no bends. Set up your bow hold. Put the tip of your thumb up against the stick next to the frog and bend your thumb knuckle, and then match up the lines of the middle and ring finger on the other side of the stick. Put your other two fingers into place. The first finger should be touching the stick in between your two knuckles, and your pinky should be curved and on top as you slowly rotate the hair down onto the string.
We're going to practice the A major scale first by looking at the string finger chart. So as we play the scale, follow the laser pointer from note to note and notice the intervals in between each note. Whole steps are not touching, half steps are touching. So I am going to turn on the metronome. You're hearing quarter notes, and I am going to play half notes. That's 2 clicks per note. Get your violin set up, get your left hand set up, hover your fingers over the strings and over their tapes. Make sure your fingers are going to land on the tapes when they go down onto the fingerboard. Set up your bow hold and rotate the bow down onto the A string. Your pinky should be engaged, curved, and on top of the stick. 1, 2, ready, play. Now that you've reviewed how to set up your violin properly, how to set up your left hand in your bow hold, and now that you've also warmed up with a scale, it's time to practice the skills that you need in order to play this piece. So in this practice module, you're going to see a video of the skill that you're working on so that you have a chance to see what the fingers look like, what the bow distribution looks like. And then you're going to have a chance to practice the skill while you look at the notation on the staff. And it's important throughout this practice video that you remember that you can always pause, rewind, and review any segment that you're working on. And in fact, I encourage you to do this as often as possible so that you have a chance to practice the skill until you feel completely comfortable with it. So have fun with this. Now we're going to practice an A major arpeggio, which is the beginning of the piece. So that is an open A, followed by a C sharp, which is second finger on the A string. Next comes an open E, and finally it's an A, which is third finger on the E string. And the first section of this practice segment is half notes. So I'm going to turn my metronome on, and you're going to hear each click will be a quarter note, so 2 clicks per note. And then the next section, I wrote eighth notes. I broke down the printed rhythm of the piece into eighth notes, and so we'll play 2 notes per click. So get your violin ready, get your left hand set up, tap, tap, tap your thumb, hover your fingers over their tapes, over the strings, get your bow hand set up, and then rotate your bow down onto the A string. Again, you're hearing quarter notes. For the half note section, it's 2 clicks per note. 1, 2, ready, play. Eighth notes. Okay, go ahead and pause, rewind, and practice this segment several times. Now we're going to practice the rhythm of the first 2 measures. And the reason we need to talk about the rhythm is because we have something that we've not seen before, which is a dotted quarter note. And whenever we have a dot next to a note, it adds half of the value of that printed note. In this case, the printed note is a quarter note. A quarter note is 2 eighth notes, and so half of a quarter note is 1/8 note. So essentially, when we see a dotted quarter note, it's equivalent to 3 eighth notes. And that's why in the very first section of this practice segment, I wrote everything out in their eighth note values. And in the second segment, we're going to practice looking at the rhythm that's written in the piece, but we're going to have the foundation of the eighth note pulse. So I'm going to turn my metronome on, and you're going to hear eighth notes. And I want you to get your violin set up, get your left hand set up, tap, tap, tap your thumb, get your bow hand ready. Rotate your bow down onto the A string, and we're going to play the eighth note section twice through because of the repeat, and then we're going to play the printed rhythm section twice through because there's also a repeat there. Okay, 1, 2, ready, play. Repeat. Going on. 1 and 2 and for repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So please pause, rewind, and practice this section several times.